what's up, Militia fans? We're sitting here at the Pit Stop Tavern in Denver, Colorado. Sitting here with Stogie La Russa, taking some time off, spending some time answering some questions, man. I appreciate it, brother.
No, it's all good.
Cool,
Man.
hell yeah, man. So how you been? Been busy?
Yeah, I mean, getting that way
Yeah,
again. So
that's good, man. Busy's always good. So you come from the gateway of the West, St. Louis, Missouri, man. So what brought you here to Denver, Colorado?
My brother actually is one of the main reasons why I came here. But I was just in St. Louis, and I kind of like needed a change of pace. You know, like we're kind of doing the same things we had been doing for a while. And my brother was starting some businesses out here, and he needed some help, so he just called me last summer. It was like, man, I'm getting ready to start these businesses. I need some help. Maybe you should move out here and help me.
Okay.
And I was like, bet. You know? So I just came out, help him out, and try to
take care of family.
Yeah, of course, dude. If your if your brother fucking says he needs you, not that he said he needed me, you know, it was more just like, hey man, I could use some help. You want to come out here? But you know, automatically, that's just the way it should be. You know? So I didn't even hesitate.
So how long you been here in Colorado?
I came out here. I got here in October of last year, or like maybe the end of September or something like that. So 6 months. You know,
so you got a lot of energy on stage, man. How's that altitude treating you?
It's crazy. I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting myself into coming out here, but it's different. It's very different. That's why I didn't do any shows. I moved out here in October, and I purposely didn't take any shows for a few months because I wanted to make sure that I was acclimated to the altitude. And I didn't want to like come out here and like get on stage and have somebody's first impression of me be like, you know, trying to rap. So I purposely didn't take any shows for a few months just to make sure that I could rap, you know, because I don't use background lyrics in my shit. You know, a lot of these rappers these days are just coming to you with their fucking CD that they're selling, and they're gonna give that to the DJ or whoever and just basically rap over the top of it, you know, which is bullshit. You know, I actually rap. Like when I'm on stage and I'm rapping, you're hearing what I'm rapping. You're not hearing a fucking track. I mean, we have, you know, obviously you're gonna keep like the ad-lib tracks and stab tracks in there.
Right.
But like, for the most part, if I rap and I run out of breath, you're hearing, you know. So I don't want that to happen.
Right. You know what they say about high altitude, man? You can't run around the block, but you get drunker faster, higher quicker.
That's true.
That's what's up.
That's really true. Dude, when I first started coming out here, my brother's lived here for like 8 years, so I've been back and forth a few times. Like I kind of was familiar with Denver, but when I first was coming out here, we went and had sushi one time with my brother, and we had like one little thing like this of sake, and I was drunk. You know, I was just like, what the fuck? You know, so, yeah, it definitely, altitude, it's not to be taken lightly, man. It'll fuck you up.
Yeah, fuck you up.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, before I started this interview and I was prepping everything, I kept wanting to call you Tony La Russa. So I heard that Stogie La Russa has a bit of an interesting story to it. So you mind sharing that story?
So you're hip to the Tony La Russa, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the way it came about was kind of like this. My name was Stogie for a long time, probably since I was 20 or something like that. And it was just a name that I started with. And, you know, if you go on Google and you Google Stogie, you're going to get 6,000 pages of fucking cigars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just like, damn, this is some bullshit. Nobody can find me. And the Cardinals were in the World Series one time, like 2000. It was 2006 when the Cardinals were in the World Series.
Champions.
Yeah, and champions. You know, you've done your research. And we were downtown for a playoff game. It wasn't even the World Series yet. It was still the playoffs. But I had on like the fresh, like 2006 playoff hat, like the brand new shit. The official like warm up jackets that they warm up in, and my hair was way shorter. It was like kind of like Tony La Russa length, you know. And so we went to the game, and after the game, we were kicking it downtown, and my buddy started telling everybody I was Tony La Russa's nephew. Right? So everywhere we went, and I kind of looked, you know, with the jacket and the hat and the hair, it kind of looks like him. Like, people were buying it, no problem. And so everywhere we went, people were buying us drinks. Fucking, we went to the strip club. We were VIP. Like, everybody really bought it. And then, like, for whatever reason, like, I was just like, you know, that will help me out on Google. Stogie La Russa, it has a nice ring to it. And it's also a way that I can, like, represent St. Louis without turning everybody else off. Because most people don't even know who Tony La Russa is. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, a lot of people.
Right.
But at the same time, he's a manager that, like, changed the game. His coaching strategies were revolutionary, particularly when it came to pitching. You know, like, his whole strategy was outside of the box, which I like because that's kind of my strategy. And he was good. He won championships. So then we just, like, said Stogie La Russa, and we were like, hell yes.
Words.
You know, because anybody that's from St. Louis is going to get it, and anybody that's not is not going to be turned off by it.
Right.
You know, so
represent the hometown.
like kind of like low key style, you know, because if you just come out and you're like St. Louis, well, fuck, what does somebody from fucking, you know, New Mexico give a shit about St. Louis? They don't care.
Right.
So it's a way of representing without turning everybody else off at the same time. But mostly for Google. If you Google Stogie La Russa, you get me.
Yep.
so that was the big. That was the big thing.
So on a scale of 1 to 10 so far, I know you've been here for only 6 months, but you kind of dabble in the underground of Colorado music underground here. So about scale of 1 to 10, how you liking it so far?
It's cool, man. Like I said, I really haven't like totally ventured out into it. I knew some people prior to moving here. Most importantly, Scum. I don't know if you guys know who Scum is. You guys know who Scum is. But you know, I kind of knew him coming out here. I knew like Static and a couple other people from Colorado, Static G. So I kind of knew some people out here, but not really, you know. And so mostly, I've been at the Roxy, which is I love that.
I love the Roxy.
I love the Roxy, dude. It's so cool because of the fact that Scum owns it.
Right.
So it's like you have an underground hip hop club that's owned by somebody that is an underground hip hop artist.
Yeah.
You know, to where it gives it like a more of an authentic feel.
Definitely.
You know, because most of the clubs in St. Louis are owned by a fucking fat old white guy, or you know, like somebody that
What
just
is this music?
that just doesn't give a fuck about the culture. And having a club that is an underground hip hop club that's owned by an underground hip hop artist is really
definitely done a lot of things for the underground world here.
I really fucking
Colorado. Heck yeah.
I like those guys a lot.
So when did you first realize that music was your career? This is what you were going to do, dedicate yourself to?
That's kind of a funny question, but as far as like rap wise, I was a little bit older when I like really took myself seriously rapping and shit. I never really thought I could rap. You know, I rapped ever from the time I was a little kid. Like in grade school, used to write raps. But I grew up in St. Louis. Like I was a kid in St. Louis in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like white people weren't supposed to rap. I used to get beat up trying to rap.
Right.
So I would like actually like write raps for my black friends and like give them to them and let them rap it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because they're like, dude, you can't rap, you're white. And that's kind of how it was.
Right.
And then, you know, as I got older, it kind of became a little bit more acceptable, but I still just, like, never really took myself seriously. And I would just, like, battle cats at parties for fun, you know, whatever. Just having a good time battling cats. And probably, like, 2000 or 2001, somewhere in that range, maybe 2002, I had a buddy that was a rapper. And he was like, dude, you need to come battle. They hosted battles at these clubs back then. It's like, dude, you need to come battle at a club. I'm like, nah, dude, no, I didn't want to do it. So I went to a show that they had, and this motherfucker signed me up for the battle.
Oh, shoot. Surprise.
Yeah, without me even knowing it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, you motherfucker. But like, I didn't even know, okay? So I'm just there chilling, having a good time, watching the show or whatever. They get to the battle section, and then they like call me out. And I'm like in the crowd, like, are you fucking kidding me? You know? Like, oh shit. And I was like, fuck it, what am I gonna do? They're like calling me out, like pointing at me, like, yo, come up here, you're in, you know, and I'm just like, well, fuck it. So I went up there, and I ended up winning the battle that night.
Nice.
And just murdering cats, you know what I'm saying? And when that was over, I like came back into the crowd, and like 3 or 4 different people were like, you need to come to my studio, you need to come holler at me, whatever, gave me their cards or whatever. So that was like when I was first really like, yo, like maybe I can do this shit for real, you know?
Yeah.
And then that was it was probably 2002.
Yeah.
You know,
and
to where
begins,
to where I was just like, because before that, I mean, I've always rapped.
Right.
You know, I mean, when we were in fucking 5th, 6th grade,
yeah,
my homie used to make beats on the lunch table, and we would make fun of people walking through the cafeteria, and that was like kind of how we got our start. You know, we'd just be sitting over there rapping and like talking about some fat chick over there, or some dude with a fucked up haircut, or like whatever.
yeah.
So that's really how it got its start. But I never took it seriously until about 2002, and I would have never done it had it not been for my boy signing me up without me knowing about it. You know,
that
so,
guy, right?
Yeah, he's cool, man. His name's Verse. He's still out here doing his thing, man. He's a good friend of mine, good friend of my family's, and
St. Louis rapper.
Yeah. He was in a group called Drama City. They're from the county in St. Louis, and they were doing things for a while, and he's like kind of off on his own thing now. He goes by Louis Converse, actually. He changed his name, but he's a good dude, man.
Yeah. So was hip hop always your main genre, or did you ever think about getting involved with something else?
It's funny because when I was a really little kid, like I played the drums.
Mm-hmm.
I could play the drums, and when I was really younger, you know, like probably like 12 or 13 or something like that, we had a garage band that I was in, and I played the drums, but we kind of like half rapped. Like the dude that was the singer was kind of half rapping, half singing, you know what I'm saying? And which was cool, because we were only like fucking 12.
Yeah, right?
You know what I'm saying?
That sounds big now, by the way, too.
Yeah,
that kind of sounds big
and
now.
it was cool. So I was like in this garage band, and it was called the Cheese Monkeys. And and we were recording in my parents' basement, and we were recording like on the cassette tapes. Like we just had like mics that were like, we'd have like the 2 cassettes we had it like record and play and like all this bullshit. And so we actually recorded a few songs back then. We had a song called Bored, which was pretty cool. And I couldn't even tell you the names of any of the songs, but we covered some Rage Against the Machine songs actually.
Oh, nice.
As like fucking 12-year-olds. And yeah, dude, so like I actually started out like playing the drums in a garage band, and the dude that was the singer actually is he's a singer of a Christian rock band now, and one of the other dudes, the dude that was playing bass or whatever, he's like was insanely good at hockey. Yeah. He played for the Junior Blues for a while, and
nice.
I'm not really sure what I don't think he's playing hockey anymore, but you know, I mean. So that's kind of what happened to the Cheese Monkeys, man. I don't know, maybe we'll have a reunion tour.
There you go, right?
The Cheese Monkeys reunion tour. We'll play Bored for everybody.
Play some Rage and
that was
stuff.
like Bored and Rage Against the Machine covers. I think we might have had like a Goo Goo Doll cover or something like that we did too.
Awesome.
But the only original song that I can remember was called Bored. There might have been some other ones.
Awesome.
I just remember my dad got so fucking pissed.
Was it his garage?
Huh?
Was it his garage?
It was in the basement of his house.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. And, well, my parents both, but it was in the basement of their house, and we used to practice like every Monday or whatever the fuck it was. And, yeah, he got mad because we taped over one of his like country tapes or some bullshit.
We're gonna make this tape sound a little bit better.
I just remember he was pissed off, man.
So you say you play the drums, man. Do you use that in any of your beats? Do you make your own beats?
I mean, I've made a few beats, but they're just really not that good. Yeah. And like the way that rap music is these days, if you want to be successful, you really need to have like top-notch beats. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I could make a beat and it'd be okay, but like, you know, I've got connections with a lot of like really fucking good producers.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense for me to make my own beats, you know, because they're not going to be that good. And you know, my last album, 6 tracks or something like that, was produced by Harley Davidson, who he's in New York, and he kills shit, man. He's really dope. Yeah, I mean, he's got like platinum plaques, gold plaques. He's got all kinds of shit going. He's produced for Nelly and Dubsy. You remember The Longest Yard?
Yeah.
He did The Longest Yard soundtrack. He did a couple songs on that.
Nice.
He did Chameleonaire when Chameleonaire first came out. That was like his first big. Cause I knew him before he really like blew up.
Yeah.
And the Chameleonaire thing, I just remember, dude, he got a check, like just like a stupid fat check, dude, for doing the Chameleonaire.
Yeah.
This is the sound of revenge. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of y'all remember that, but he did that, and that album went fucking platinum or double platinum or something stupid. So that was like when he first really got into it. And he's done produced for Joel Santana. I don't even know how many people. Nelly and Dubsy, Cheney, Pretty Ricky did something for them.
He kills it up.
Dude, he's in the game. He actually is producing a movie that comes out in May that he's had the script for like 10 years. I just remember years ago we were talking about it, and it's finally a reality. And it's an original concept, so like nobody in Hollywood would fuck with him, because you know all they do is make remakes or whatever. And this is the concept of this movie is really dope, and nobody wanted to fuck with him, and he was just like, "Fuck you guys! If you don't want to fuck with me, I'll do it myself." So it's an independently produced movie.
Nice.
Some of my music that he produced is going to be featured in the soundtrack to it.
Awesome.
And it comes out in May. It's called Cranium Intel.
Okay.
So if you guys see that, make sure you check out Cranium Intel. Shout out, you know, my man Harley Davidson. Good so, you know, he's really helped me down. He's really helped me down. Harley Davidson. Ever since I met the dude, he's done really, you know, we've been really cool. He's done a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? And he makes hot beats, man. So but I mean, even aside from him, we've got. I don't know if you guys know the Track Boys, Jaquan, everybody in the club get tipsy. Yep. Yeah, one of the guys from the Track Boys is cool. He does some production for me. He's really dope too.
Awesome.
And then you know, we've got like groundbreaking beats. My man Sketch is a beast, bro. He's nasty. He's got a lot of stuff that isn't even out yet. That's really cold. Yeah, Sketch is gonna do some things. And Calico Keys, just I have a lot of very talented producers around me, so me making my own beats doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
right.
That's really Oh, my man Crisis too.
Crisis?
Actually, I can't even forget Crisis, man. Yeah, actually the first song on my last album, it's called It's On. There's a music video on YouTube. Crisis produced that, and yeah, Crisis is super sick too, man. Yeah. So I can't forget about him. So.
Check these guys out.
Yeah.
Heard from him.
Yeah.
At the start of your music career, other than a little bit of the segregation between white rappers, black rappers,
sure.
How hard was it to get what trials did you have to go through to kick that into gear for your rap career?
Really, man, I mean, it just came down to being dope.
Yeah. I
mean, I'll tell you right now, I cut my teeth with some of the dopest MCs to ever even breathe on a mic that most of you motherfuckers have probably never even heard of. You know, the St. Louis underground scene is so talented. Like, so talented, man. It's crazy. And everybody is a rapper. So, like, you really have to, if you're not dope,
competition.
Get the fuck out, man. You know what I'm saying?
Up, right?
Yeah, so like I came up with guys, I don't know if you know about homie Preach, that's like my dude. This is actually one of Preach's shirts. He's really dope, man. He's from Romania. He came over here to St. Louis as a kid, and he's out here killing it. He just shot a video with Dilemma that's really, really fucking sick. But like him, the Tefpo, you guys might know. Does anybody know Tefpo? He's been unsigned hype in the Source. He's been fucking undefeated on BET's Freestyle Friday. XXL magazine named him some shit. I mean, I don't know, but he's out here murdering, and there's just so many super talented rappers. I could give you a list for like 20 minutes of all the fucking super sick rappers there from St. Louis that nobody's ever really heard of, you know, and which is a shame. You know, we did a showcase at South by Southwest one year. And there was a lot of St. Louis rappers, and it was something that had a bunch of A&Rs there. And one of the A&Rs got up and was just like, the fuck? You know, like, how in the fuck is this even, like, dude, y'all were all dope, and like everybody was fucking with each other, and he's like, I've never even seen anything like this. Wow. You know, so the underground scene, like the pop rap scene, that's not really, like Nelly and all them kind of came out and like gave everybody a misconception of St. Louis. Dude, but the underground scene there is just so talented. Yeah. So talented compared to, I've been to a lot of places, and I've never, I mean, most of the people everywhere I go are like trying to make music that sounds like the bullshit that's on the radio. Right. So everybody's like trying to like mainstream. Everybody's like trying to fit this fucking whatever, but like in St. Louis, they don't give a fuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's just like being themselves, which is really cool to me. That's cool. So I kind of got spoiled, but like I really like had to step it up because I was around so many talented MCs. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Averb, Hitman Holler. I don't know. Hitman Holler's on Wild Now with Nick Cannon. Really? Yeah, 3 seasons or something. I don't really know him like that, but yeah, I mean like those kind of people were just there. Averb is super dope. If anybody follows rap battle, I know you've fucking heard of Averb. So there was a lot of people in St. Louis that were really, really, really good. Yeah. So you just had to step it up.
So rap battling. So is that kind of how you started up your career? Is battling other rappers or?
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically how I got my start, was battling rappers. Yeah. And that's how I like gained enough respect for people to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I just like kind of got to the point where I just didn't see the advantage of it, because every time I would go to a battle, if they said there was a cash prize, sometimes they wouldn't pay you. You know what I'm saying? And like, it was just like a lot of stupid shit to where I'm like, I'm going here, I'm not going to make any money, I'm probably going to get in a fight, you know.
Yeah, that stuff can get a little personal sometimes in rap battles.
Yeah, you know, and especially like when being a white boy coming around trying to rap like back in, you know, the early 2000s, right. People didn't really take to me very kindly, you know.
This guy.
Yeah, but I mean, I had my like crew of homies, you know, that really helped me down. Cool. Probably saved me from getting killed a few times.
That's what homies are for.
Yeah, you know, my man Link, Mello, a couple cats like that really helped me, had my back and held me down. So, you know, but battles, I just kind of like got out of that phase because there's not enough money in it to make it worth the risk of me going out here and fucking getting beat up or shot at or whatever, you know, because I would always end up pissing somebody off, you know?
Sore losers.
You know what I mean? So it's like, why? Right. Why? I'm not making any money and I might get shot at. Fuck that, you know? So, I kind of got out of the battle thing, but it's something that, you know, if the circumstances were right, I wouldn't mind maybe jumping back into.
Heck yeah.
You know, but I like the, I'm more of a fan of like the freestyle battles, like over beats. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like these battles they do now are like.
Are they kind of prepped, these battles, these newer battles now?
The new battles are like, yeah, they're like 4 minutes of acapella rapping. You know what I mean? Where they just like kind of go off, you know, which is cool, but you rehearse that, you know, like, yeah, and you spend all this time rehearsing that, and you're gonna rap it against somebody, which is cool and get some YouTube views. But I'd rather spend my time writing a hit song in the studio.
There you go, right.
If you want to battle, let's battle 30 seconds back and forth over a beat freestyle.
There you go, right.
You know, like I'd be more apt to do something like that.
Heck yeah.
You know, because freestyle battles, like that was where, when people were actually freestyling, even if half of the shit was written, like the freestyle battles are more of where I excel at.
Yeah.
Than spending a fucking
make some money off of that.
Yeah, you know, like, fuck a battle, let me write a hit song.
Yeah,
in that
right, there
one,
you go,
know?
right?
That's kind of how I feel about it. But
yeah.
no disrespect to anybody that battles, because, you know, that shit is, like, when you've got people that are good that battle, it's really dope.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of fucking people that just really aren't that good, and it's just not that entertaining.
So you performed with some artists like Two Live Crew, Haystack, ICP, really putting the big stamp on the underground scene, man. That's awesome stuff. But 2011, I believe it is, you kind of made a big stand on some underground with a mixtape, I believe is called A Music is Contagious.
Okay. Yeah.
What kind of work you put into that?
That one was crazy, man. I mean, that mixtape was a pain in my fucking ass, to be honest with you. It was something, some of those songs were kind of older that we kind of like put together, and I engineered it. That was when I was like learning to work a studio, so like I engineered it myself, and it didn't sound as good as I wanted it to, so we like redid it. It was such a pain in the fucking ass, but you know, it ended up being cool.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff Johnson. I don't know if you guys know Jeff Johnson. He's a rapper from Kentucky. He was on the MIC mixtape, but other than that, it was just a lot of like me and like my homies that we just put it together and put it out.
How long does a mixtape like that take to kind of put everything together, get everybody on the same track, and be able to put it out there for everybody?
I mean, it just depends. Like I said, that one took way too long, just because that's when I was trying to do it myself, trying to engineer it myself, and I wasn't really that good of an engineer at that point. So when I got it done, I'm like, man, this shit's not as good as I want it, and I had my buddy redo it. So, so you know, I mean, it can take a long time. I mean, it just really varies, you know. I mean, you could, the first mixtape that I put out, we did the whole thing in a month.
Nice.
You know, from nothing. You know,
Yeah,
every song was
slate.
recorded, mixed, mastered, everything in a month. So, you know, it can vary. The MIC mixtape definitely took a lot more time and energy than I would have liked.
Yeah.
But it came out cool, man. We had some really good skits. My boy Black, he always comes through with the skits. I don't know if you guys,
Oh, yeah, I've heard some
if
of the
you've heard him.
Yeah.
The skits are really funny, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like a thing that my boy Black does all the skits on most of my shit. So that was cool. I thought the skits were cool. We had some good production on there. We stole some beats, obviously. It's a mixtape. That's what you do.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that was overall. I thought that was a pretty cool project.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, there was just a lot of time and energy that went into that.
Tested your skills, huh?
Tested my patience more than
Tested your
anything.
patience.
But yeah, I mean, when we finally put it out, I mean, I felt like it was solid, and I feel like a lot of other people felt like it was solid too. We had some good features from St. Louis people mostly on that. Really, really talented MCs, and my buddy Black is just hilarious. So I don't know if you've heard the Flying Under the Radar, but he also did all the skits on that.
Yeah, that's where I heard a lot of skits from. Flying
Yeah,
Under the Radar.
he's a trip, man. My boy Black is something else. So it's funny, and I just do it because it's like, that's my boy, man. You know, like, he's funny, so he always does all my skits. It's kind of just like a tradition.
Heck yeah.
So
in a music standpoint, what's your favorite part of doing? Is it the lyrics? Is it the putting everything together, the editing, or is it kind of all just kind of blend together to what you like to do?
Dude, what I really like to do is to do things that people are like kind of shocked by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if like shock is a good word, but like rap is so recycled that like you've seen everything.
Right.
You know, so if I come out and do something to where motherfuckers are like, what the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying? That's really what like kind of drives me, and I like is doing something to where when you come out and you do a show and people are just like, yo, what was that?
That's what a lot of the reaction I got, man. When I was like, yeah, you gotta check this guy out. Man.
Yeah,
I was like,
like,
sweet for sure.
Like, yo, like this dude, you know. So I kind of like keeping people on their toes, to where like you really don't know what to expect, because hip hop is so predictable. I mean, everything is so redone and so predictable, to where if you come out and give somebody something that they did not expect, you know, that's what's going to keep
make a
people.
statement.
Yeah, and whatever it might be, you know, like we've done a whole bunch of different stuff over the years.
Yeah.
But just doing things that other people aren't doing.
Right.
You know, that's kind of what I like.
Yeah, the sound I've realized can be kind of repetitive sometimes with a lot of
Sure.
artists. So
Sure.
yeah,
Just doing something that people are like, yo, I ain't never, like that's the biggest compliment I can get. Like if I do a show and somebody's like, dude, I ain't never seen nobody do some shit like that.
Right.
Bet.
Right.
Great. That's what I want to hear.
That's what's up. Performing on stage, I noticed this shirt that you wear, and I do believe it's your merch.
Yeah.
It says, "I am not a rapper."
Yes.
Is there a meaning to this quote?
Yes, dude. And actually, it's kind of funny that you asked me that. So it all started out, my boy Haiku, who, this dude, like lyrically wise, my boy Haiku, I'll put him up against anyone ever. Like his meticulousness and his way that he constructs his sentences is just amazing.
Yeah.
So lyrically wise, he's so cold. He started this group called the Legion of Lyricists, and basically what it was about people that could like actually rap and weren't on some fucking swag bullshit or whatever. And when you think about the word rapper, you know, like it kind of has like a negative connotation to it.
Okay.
So one year we were going to South by Southwest, and I had come up with the idea for these shirts and say I'm not a rapper, and we're gonna go to South by Southwest and wear them and just see what happens. So we pressed up all these shirts and say I'm not a rapper. We went to South by Southwest, and the reaction that we got was just so crazy because people were asking us about it, and what we did, we kind of like took a survey. So it's like, okay, when I say the word rapper, what do you think about it? And everybody would be like, somebody that sells dope, somebody that lives in his grandmother's basement, you know, like, and everything these people were saying was all negative,
right.
And none of it applied to us,
right.
You know. So that was kind of like the point of it was like, okay, so if you say rapper, what do you think about? Okay, it's all negative, and none of that applies to me. So why the fuck would I want to be looped in with these assholes?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was kind of like the point of it. But like once we started it, the reaction that we got was so crazy that like we just took it and ran. It was kind of a joke to begin with, but we took it and ran with it. And like, dude, I can't put that shirt on without somebody asking me about it.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of like builds the value of it too, because it's like you can't even wear it without somebody asking you about it. So if I sell it to you and you wear it to work, somebody asks you about it, and you're going to tell them about me.
Yeah.
You know, and so the value of it became apparent. You know, but like it's crazy. I had an old lady punch me in the stomach one time. Actually, at South by Southwest, we had our CDs and we were just walking around trying to promote or whatever, and this old lady comes up to me and she looks at me, she's like, I'm not a rapper. And I'm like, yeah. Punches me in the stomach. This old grandma, and I'm just like, what the fuck? She's like, what do you take me for, a fool? So, you know, I mean, this shirt just had such a profound reaction that we're like, yo, we're running with this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it kind of became like the flagship of the Legion. of like, don't call me a rapper because I don't want to be grouped in with these fucking idiots. You know, like I'm not out here starting Twitter beef and like doing all this fucking stupid shit. I actually rap.
Right.
You know, so call me an MC, call me a lyricist, call me a fucking hip hop artist. But like the term rapper, like if you go to somebody like, oh, I'm a rapper, they're just kind of like, fuck this motherfucker, like immediately,
Right.
and they don't even know shit about you. So that was kind of the point of it, and it just kind of skyrocketed.
So your most recent album, Flying Under the Radar, has a song in it, Dumb. I heard there's this great story behind this.
Oh man.
Can you tell it?
Yeah, sure, man. I don't care. I can talk about whatever. But so that particular track, it's actually the only track on that album that I did not record at Kevlar Soul Studios with my man Ian. Actually, no, wait. There was two of them that we didn't record there, but it's the only one that I recorded outside of Missouri in Colorado. I recorded that actually in Denver, and I had a trip planned to Denver, and I wanted to I was actually thinking about moving out here, so I wanted to check out some studios out here. So I booked a studio session at KMG Studios, which was in Denver now. They moved to Boulder, so they're in Boulder now. But so I booked a studio session out there. So the date was like set, you know. And I had Tarboy, who's from the Track Boys. He produced Everybody in the Club Get Tips.
Yeah.
He produced something for D12. He's done a bunch of cool shit. He's really good.
Yeah.
So I sent him a track that I had already wrote that I wanted him to produce a beat for.
Okay.
And he was like, cool. So I met with him like the day before I was leaving to go to Denver to get a beat that I thought he was producing for a track that I already had wrote, you know? And he shows up and he's like, oh man, fuck that, man. I got these beats here. You should get one of these. I'm just like, dude, my studio session's in fucking 2 days, bro. Like, what the fuck? So he played me the beat Dumb, and he was like, this is the one I think you should get. And at first I was pissed off. I'm like, dude, do you know anything about what I do? You know, like, that's not the kind of fucking rap music I make, man. Like, that shit is fucking funny to me. You know, like, the only way I would ever rap on this fucking beat is if I was making fun of fucking motherfuckers that rap on these kind of beats. You know? And as soon as I said that shit, his face just, like, lit up. And he was like, yo, do that. You know? And I was like, okay.
All right.
So I took the beat and I literally had, like, I'm packing, I'm fucking leaving for, like, a month. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta try to come up with this song. I got a studio session in fucking 2 days. And I was just like kind of the same way with when we talked about Act Shitty. I was just kind of clowning when I came up with it. And it just like all came together. And it was easy. You know, I mean, it's basically just making fun of rappers.
Right.
But I wanted to come at it from an angle because every rapper you hear talks about how shitty these other rappers are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been done. You know, like I wanted to come at it from an angle like, this is what I hear when you rap. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of came at it from a different angle, like approaching it like impersonating a rapper, kind of. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, people seem to really fuck with it. And once again, out of my entire album, the least amount of money, the least amount of time. I mean, it was just something that just came together, just clowning.
Yeah.
And that's the shit everybody likes. You know?
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. And, you know, I mean, looking back at it, it is kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, and I think people like it because it's fucking truthful. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, like, the end of the first verse is, where I just kind of like, you know, like they walk around like a cocky prick talking shit with a false sense of accomplishment. You know, like it kind of hits home because it's so direct of what actually goes on. You know, like a lot of these motherfuckers are just like, dude, you did what? I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? like what makes you think you're so great? So that's kind of what I was going for, and I guess it worked.
It worked.
I guess. The funny thing is, like, Tarboy, the dude that produced it, some time went past, and I actually thought he didn't like it. You know, like when I sent it to him, he never really responded, like, yo, it's dope, you know. So I'm like, man, I guess he didn't like it. And some time went past, probably like a year or whatever, since the song had came out. And he called me one day. I guess he saw some footage of me performing it live, and he just like called me out of the blue, and he's like, bro, what the fuck? You know, I'm just like, yo, I tried to tell you.
So, what's next for Stogie La Russa?
Well, immediately next, we're doing part of the Truck North Build Your Own tour, which is cool. Truck North from the legendary Roots crew. Dude is a fucking monster. If you guys have never heard this dude rap, his bars are just like so complex and so fucking, his metaphors are just like crazy. So he's like an MC that I really respect as an MC just because of the fact that he raps his fucking ass off. And really nobody, not nobody, but a lot of people don't even really know who he is, you know. He's kind of managed to fly under the radar himself, you know. So that's why I kind of feel like I fuck with him. I don't really know, dude. I haven't met him or anything, but we're doing part of a tour with him, and it's going to be pretty cool, man. It's a build your own tour, kind of one of those things like we don't need a label, we don't really need industry or anything like that. We're just going to do this all grassroots, underground, by ourselves type shit, which is why I was on board with it.
Yeah, when are they gonna be here in Denver?
We're gonna do Greeley, Colorado on the 25th of April, and then Denver, Colorado right here, the 26th of April, which is a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so.
Keep watching the High Music Militia Facebook page, because we'll make sure to keep up on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. We got a lot of really good artists on the one here. It's gonna be dope. I think we're gonna have some like really good barbecue being grilled outside, and like there's a lot of other different aspects that we're putting together here. So it should be a really good, a fun time. A lot of good artists. We actually have some people that just jumped in just because, you know. Some live production. There's like a live producer duo that's gonna come perform. Another artist that Truck is bringing with them that's really good. So, you know, it should be a really good show for like it's more for like the hip hop crowd, right? You know, not so much the fucking Chief Keef crowd, I guess, or you know what I'm saying? Like they may not like it, we may not like turn all the way up. Except when we're doing Dumb, we're gonna turn all the way up for that. But other than that, you know, it may not be.
Turn down for what?
Yeah, it may not be nothing like that. But for like the hip hop heads and like people that really appreciate hip hop music, it will be a very cool show.
Heck yeah, awesome. So fans, if they're interested in maybe getting some CDs or some merch, would be a good place to.
You can just go to IamStogie.com. You know, we got where you can get free music, download some free shit, watch some videos. There's a link to the store. You can buy some shirts, you know, whatever, beanies, whatever kind of shit. The store actually goes to the FTI Army store, which is like my crew from St. Louis. There's a couple artists in the crew that are all really dope. So, you know, if you can check my shit out, check that out. There's a link. You can check out the Legion of Lyricists, which is worldwide. You know, there's guys from Africa that are dropping gospel rap songs on these mixtapes. So, yeah, you can check that out. 9 mixtapes deep. People from all over the country, Canada, London, all over the world. So they're pretty dope.
That's cool. Nice. Mind spitting the flow for us?
Oh, fuck. You want to get me drunk and then try to get like shit, right?
Put it on the spot.
That's cool. You want like some freestyle shit?
Oh, man,
or do you want like just a verse or some shit that you may not have heard?
Throw it out there. For the fans.
For the fans.
For the fans.
For the fans. All right. Trying to think what would be a good. Dude, I kind of just want to freestyle some shit, but like if we had like a beat in here or something that would help. So, shit, dude. Okay, I think I've got. I don't know. I'm kind of drunk, but I've got something that I think people might fuck with.
Oh yeah.
This is actually really fucking old, but like if you didn't fuck with me, you might not know this shit, and it's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a master of lyricality. You want to battle me, you'll get the verbal version of Mortal Kombat fatalities. You don't want beef, so call me the mad cow disease, violent without apologies. And that's just how I be. Ready to rap like a Mexican with a white tortilla. Shitting on y'all like a flock of pigeons with diarrhea. I got a lineup that leave you in need of 5 relievers. Dropping bombs like a paraplegic wide receiver. Hot as a violent fever. Despise you rhyme repeaters. I write lines that'll stimulate your mind cerebral. Screaming fuck the police and never mind what's legal. I'ma find a way to see a million by the sequel. But if you listen to this, you'll probably buy the sequel. A lot of people see that every line I drop is lethal, but don't try to be no friend of me, cause I'm my own worst enemy. Mike Myers, I'm Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. That's just some shit. Yeah, that's like some classic shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's just some shit that people. If you don't fuck with me, you wouldn't know that shit. It's dope. It's cool. It's a cool verse people liked or whatever.
60-second throwdown. So,
I mean,
the 60-second throwdown is pretty much just some like quick fire questions.
Sure.
And I kind of give you like an option, or you can pop out the first word that comes to your head.
Okay.
So here we go. The 60-second throwdown.
Okay.
With Stogie La Russa.
All right.
Here we go. Oh shit. Government ties or death?
Death.
Crusty pocket change or uncooperative prostitute?
Prostitute.
Rotting fetus or flaky vagina?